Hello, and welcome to Chatcraft English. My name is Sophie, and I'm invited here to be your language learning partner. Together, we'll practice real English that you can use every day. In this video, you'll discover simple tips, clear examples, and natural phrases that will help you speak English more confidently and naturally. No difficult grammar, no complicated rules, just practical English you can learn step by step. Let's get started. Learning English can sometimes feel like a big mountain. You look up and it feels too high, too hard, and too far away. But remember this: every mountain is climbed step by step. English is the same. You don't need to know everything at once. You don't need to be perfect from the beginning. You just need to start with small, simple steps. Think of English like building a house. First, you lay the foundation. Then, brick by brick, the house begins to take shape. Vocabulary, grammar, listening, and speaking, these are your bricks. The stronger your foundation, the taller and stronger your house will stand. Let's begin with one important idea. English is not just a subject in school. English is a tool. It is something you use to connect with people, to understand stories, to explore the world. When you see English this way, it becomes more fun and more useful. For example, when you learn the phrase, "How are you?" you're not just learning 3 words. You're learning how to greet someone, how to show care, how to start a conversation. These small phrases are powerful. They are keys. And the more keys you collect, the more doors you can open. Many learners make the mistake of only studying grammar or memorizing long word lists. They think, if I know 5,000 words, I will speak English well. But that's not true. You don't need thousands of words to communicate. You only need the right words, the words people actually use in daily life. Think about this. In English, the 1,000 most common words cover about 85% of everyday conversations. That means if you focus on the most useful words, you can understand most of what people say. That is much better than trying to remember words you may never use. So here's a tip. Focus on phrases, not only single words. For example, instead of just learning the word time, learn the phrase, "take your time," or "what time is it?" These phrases are ready-made sentences. You can use them immediately in real situations. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are in a cafe. You want to order coffee. If you only know the word coffee, it's not enough. But if you know the phrase, "Can I have a cup of coffee, please?" you can order politely and confidently. That's the magic of learning phrases. They save you time, they make your speech sound natural, and they help you avoid the stress of trying to build a sentence word by word. Another key to learning English is listening. Listening is the doorway to speaking. When you listen often, your brain begins to catch the rhythm, the sounds, the patterns of English. At first, it may feel too fast. You may understand only a few words. But don't worry, that is normal. Think about how babies learn. They listen for many months before they start speaking. They don't study grammar. They don't use textbooks. They just listen, and slowly, the words begin to make sense. You can do the same. Listen every day, even for a few minutes. Choose simple English. Songs, podcasts, short videos, anything that interests you. The important part is to listen again and again. Repetition trains your ear. And here's something important. Don't just listen silently. Repeat out loud. This method is called shadowing. You hear a sentence and then you repeat it immediately, trying to copy the sound, the tone, the speed. For example, if you hear, "What are you doing?" you repeat, "What are you doing?" This helps your mouth and tongue get used to the movement of English sounds. Practice this every day, even for 5 minutes. Over time, your pronunciation will improve. Your confidence will grow, and speaking will feel more natural. Let's try a quick practice together. I will give you a phrase, and you can repeat it after me. Ready? Phrase 1, "Nice to meet you." Phrase 2, "How's it going?" Phrase 3, "See you later." These are common greetings. Say them out loud. Don't just read them. Your brain learns faster when your mouth and ears work together. Now, let's talk about mistakes. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes. They think, if I speak incorrectly, people will laugh at me. But here's the truth. Mistakes are not the enemy. Mistakes are the teacher. Every mistake shows you what to improve. Every mistake is a step forward. Imagine a child learning to walk. The child falls many times, but every fall is part of the learning process. If the child stops because of fear, they will never walk. But if they keep going, soon they can run. You are the same with English. Don't be afraid to fall. Keep speaking, keep practicing, and you will get stronger. Here's a mindset you can use. Instead of saying, I made a mistake, say, I learned something new. Change the way you think, and learning becomes less scary and more exciting. Finally, remember this. English is not only about rules, it's about connection. It's about using words to share your ideas, your feelings, your stories. Even with simple English, you can connect deeply with others. So don't wait until you feel perfect. Start now. Speak now. Use what you know today. In this journey, small steps matter. A few words a day, a few minutes of listening, a few sentences spoken aloud. Over weeks and months, these small steps become big progress. So, your first step today is simple. Choose 3 phrases you want to use in your daily life. Write them down. Repeat them out loud. Try to use them with someone, even if it's just talking to yourself in the mirror. Every time you use them, you are building your English house, one brick at a time. Now that you understand the importance of taking small steps, let's talk about building a strong routine. Routine is like a map. Without a map, you may walk in circles. With a map, you know where you are going. In the same way, a routine gives your English learning direction and stability. You don't need to study for hours every day. In fact, short, regular practice is much more powerful than long, irregular study. For example, 15 minutes of focused practice every day is better than 2 hours once a week. Why? Because your brain remembers better when it sees English often. Small doses keep the language alive in your mind. Think of it like watering a plant. If you give the plant water once a week, it may survive, but it will not grow strong. If you water it a little every day, it will grow tall and healthy. Your English is that plant. A little every day is the secret. So, how can you create a good routine? Start with these 3 steps. Step 1. Decide your best time of day. Some people like mornings when the mind is fresh. Others prefer evenings when the day is calm. Choose the time that feels right for you. Step 2. Choose one small activity for that time. It could be listening to a short English podcast, reading a page of a book, practicing 5 new phrases, or writing a simple diary entry. Keep it simple, keep it short, but do it every day. Step 3. Stay consistent. Consistency is more important than perfection. Even if you are tired or busy, try to do a little bit. Even 5 minutes keeps your habit alive. Here's an example of a simple daily routine. Morning. Listen to a short English conversation while eating breakfast. Afternoon. Write down 1 sentence about your day in English. Evening. Repeat 3 phrases aloud before bed. That's it. Very simple, but if you repeat it every day, your English will grow. Now, let's talk about listening more deeply. Listening is not just hearing sounds. It is about training your brain to understand meaning, rhythm, and emotion. One mistake learners often make is listening only once. But the truth is, repetition is your best friend. For example, let's say you listen to a short video. The first time you may understand 30%. The second time, 50%. The third time, maybe 70%. Each time, you hear more. Each time, your brain connects sounds with meaning more clearly. Here's a tip. Choose 1 short video or audio and listen to it every day for 1 week. Don't change too quickly. Give your brain time to absorb. By the end of the week, you will notice big improvement. And while you listen, don't try to translate everything into your language. That slows you down. Instead, focus on understanding the main idea. Ask yourself, what are they talking about? Is it a greeting, a story, a question? This helps your brain think directly in English. Now, let's practice with some simple phrases you often hear in daily conversations. I'll say them, and you can repeat after me. Phrase 1. What do you mean? Phrase 2. That sounds great. Phrase 3. I'm not sure. These phrases are very useful. You can use what do you mean, Finanz, when you want someone to explain. You can say, that sounds great when you agree with someone's idea. And I'm not sure is a natural way to say you don't know. Repeat them aloud. The more you say them, the more natural they become. Now, let's move to speaking. Speaking is often the most scary part for learners. But here's something important. You don't need a partner to practice speaking. Of course, speaking with people is great, but you can also practice alone. Here are some ways. Talk to yourself about what you are doing. For example, if you are cooking, say, I'm cutting vegetables, I'm boiling water, I'm cooking rice. Use a mirror. Look at yourself and say simple sentences. This helps you build confidence and also lets you practice expressions. Record your voice. Listen to how you sound. Don't judge too much. Just notice what is clear and what you can improve. When you practice speaking alone, you are preparing for real conversations. It's like training in the gym before playing a game. Another useful method is to answer simple questions every day. For example, what did you eat today? What will you do tomorrow? How are you feeling right now? Answer in full sentences. I ate bread for breakfast. Tomorrow I will go shopping. I'm feeling happy. This makes your speaking smoother. Now, let's talk about reading. Reading is a powerful way to grow your vocabulary. But here's the key. Don't start with hard books. Choose something simple. Even children's books or short news articles are great. The goal is to understand and enjoy, not to struggle. While reading, don't stop for every new word. If you stop too much, you lose the story. Instead, try to guess the meaning from the context. For example, if you read, she put on her coat because it was cold, even if you don't know the word coat, you can guess it means something you wear. Reading is not only about learning words, it also helps you see how sentences are built. Your brain slowly learns grammar without studying rules directly. Finally, let's talk about writing. Writing may feel hard, but it is very helpful. When you write, you slow down and think carefully. This gives you time to practice new words and structures. Start small. Write one sentence a day. For example, today I feel tired, or I watched a movie. Over time, make your sentences longer. Today I feel tired because I worked hard, or I watched a movie and it was very funny. If you want more practice, write a short diary in English. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's only for you. The more you write, the more confident you will become. So, to review this part, build a daily routine, even if it's only 10 minutes. Listen to the same audio many times to train your ear. Practice speaking alone with simple methods. Read simple texts to grow your vocabulary naturally. Write short sentences daily to practice expression. These habits are small, but together they create big progress. Now, let's go deeper into how you can grow confidence in English. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you build. Many learners tell me, I will speak when I feel confident. But the truth is, you feel confident only after you speak. Action comes first. Confidence follows. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. The first time you feel nervous. You may fall, but you try again, and slowly, you balance better. After a few tries, you ride with ease. If you had waited until you felt confident before trying, you would never start. English is the same. So how can you build speaking confidence step by step? First, prepare simple phrases you can always use. These are like your tools. For example, can you say that again, please? Sorry, I don't understand. Can you speak more slowly? These sentences are powerful. They help you stay in the conversation, even when you don't understand everything. Repeat them now with me. Can you say that again, please? Sorry, I don't understand. Can you speak more slowly? Good. If you use just these phrases, you can manage many situations. Second, don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are proof that you are learning. Think about a baby learning to speak. Babies make hundreds of mistakes, but parents don't laugh. They encourage. And the baby keeps going until speaking becomes natural. You must treat yourself the same way. Mistakes are not shameful. They are your teachers. Third, use the shadowing method. This means listening to a native speaker and repeating immediately after them, like a shadow. Choose a short clip, maybe 20 seconds. Play it, pause, repeat exactly what you hear. Copy the rhythm, the stress, the melody. This practice trains your mouth and ears at the same time. Here's an example sentence to try shadowing with. It's a beautiful day today. Listen, then repeat with the same rhythm. It's a beautiful day today. Shadowing may feel strange at first, but if you practice daily, your pronunciation and fluency will improve quickly. Now, let's talk about vocabulary. Many learners think they need thousands of words before speaking. That is not true. You only need a few hundred words to start having real conversations. Focus on common words you use every day. Here's a small set of useful words and phrases you can practice. Food words: rice, bread, chicken, vegetables, fruit. Daily actions: eat, drink, go, come, sleep, work, play. Feelings: happy, sad, tired, excited, bored. Time words: today, tomorrow, yesterday, morning, night. With just these, you can already make sentences. For example, I ate rice yesterday. Tomorrow I will play football. I feel tired tonight. See? Simple but clear. Don't wait for big vocabulary. Start with what you have now. Another powerful habit is to connect English with your life. Don't keep English only in a textbook. Use it around you. Label objects in your home with sticky notes. For example, put door on your door, mirror on your mirror, window on your window. Each time you see it, say the word aloud. This connects language to reality. Also, try thinking in English for small moments. For example, if you see the sky, instead of saying in your language, the sky is blue, try to think directly, the sky is blue. Start with small things. I am walking. I am eating bread. Slowly, your brain gets used to English thinking. Now, let's talk about listening to native speakers. Many learners feel frustrated because natives speak fast. But here's the secret. You don't need to understand every word. You only need the main idea. Imagine you listen to two friends. Friend A: hey, do you want to grab dinner later? Friend B: yeah, sounds good. What time? Even if you miss some words, you understand the main point. They are planning to eat dinner. That is enough. Don't stress about every single word. Focus on the message. And remember, native speakers use many phrases and shortcuts. For example, instead of saying, do you want to? They often say, do you wanna? Instead of I'm going to, they say, I'm gonna. These are natural, not wrong. The more you listen, the more you recognize them. Here's a little listening trick. When you watch movies or shows, use English subtitles. Listen and read at the same time. This helps you connect sounds with words. After some practice, try without subtitles. Step by step, your brain learns to keep up. Now, let's add more practice with daily phrases. Repeat these after me. What's going on? That's interesting. I don't mind. Let me think. It depends. These are phrases native speakers use all the time. What's going on is like asking, what's happening? That's interesting shows you are listening. I don't mind means you are okay with any choice. Let me think gives you time to answer. It depends is a natural way to say the answer is not simple. Practice saying them naturally. The more you repeat, the more automatic they become. Finally, let's touch on mindset again. Many learners stop because they feel slow. But language is not a race. It is a journey. If you take one step each day, you are moving forward. And remember, comparison is dangerous. Don't compare your English to someone else's. Compare your English today to your English yesterday. If you are better, even a little, you are winning. So in this part we learned, confidence comes from action, not waiting. Prepare simple survival phrases. Use shadowing to train your mouth and ears. Focus on common words, not big vocabulary. Connect English to your daily life. Understand the main idea in listening, not every word. Repeat natural phrases to sound fluent. Celebrate small progress and don't compare too much. These are not big secrets. They are small habits, but they make a big difference. Now, let's focus on a very important topic: daily routines for English learning. Many people believe they need hours every day, but that's not true. What you really need is consistency. Even 10 or 15 minutes a day can create big progress if you practice regularly. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't brush for 1 hour once a week. You brush a few minutes every day. That is enough to keep your teeth healthy. Learning English works the same way. Short daily practice is more powerful than long, rare study sessions. So, how can you build an English routine that works for you? First, choose a time of day. Maybe in the morning when your mind is fresh. Maybe in the evening when the house is quiet. The important thing is to connect English with a daily moment, like drinking coffee or walking home. Second, choose your focus. Don't try to do everything at once. One day, focus on listening. Another day, focus on speaking. Another day, focus on reading or writing. Small, clear goals will keep you motivated. For example, Monday, listen to one short podcast and repeat new phrases. Tuesday, write 5 simple sentences about your day. Wednesday, practice shadowing for 10 minutes. Thursday, watch part of a movie with subtitles. Friday, review the words and phrases you learned that week. See how simple it can be? You don't need a perfect system. You only need a plan that fits your life. Another useful trick is to connect English with habits you already have. For example, if you drink tea every afternoon, listen to an English podcast while drinking. If you check your phone in the morning, read one short English article first. By connecting English with daily habits, you make it natural. Now, let's talk about speaking practice. Many learners wait for a partner, but you can practice alone too. Speak aloud to yourself. Describe what you are doing. I'm washing the dishes. I'm closing the window. This may feel strange at first, but it trains your brain to think in English. Another method is recording your voice. Pick a topic, maybe my favorite food or my weekend plan. Speak for 1 minute, record, then listen. You may notice small mistakes, but that's good. You can hear yourself improve over time. If you have a friend who also learns English, make a small agreement. Send each other one English voice message per day. Just 1 minute. It can be simple. Today I went to the market, I bought apples. This way you practice both speaking and listening, and it becomes a fun routine. Now about reading. Reading builds vocabulary and grammar naturally, but you don't need to read difficult books. Start with short, simple texts. Children's books, news for learners, even Instagram captions in English. The key is to enjoy it. Here's a small exercise. Choose one short paragraph. Read it aloud 3 times. First, slowly. Second, with normal speed. Third, with expression. This trains your pronunciation, rhythm, and understanding at the same time. Let's try with this sentence. Learning English every day helps me grow more confident. First, say it slowly. Second, normal speed. Third, with a smile and natural expression. Do you feel the difference? Reading aloud brings the language alive. Now, let's practice listening again. Remember, the goal is not 100% understanding. The goal is to catch the main idea. Here's a short dialogue. A. Hey, do you want to grab some coffee after class? B. Sure, I'd love to. What time? Even if you miss a word like grab, you still understand. They are planning to drink coffee. That's success. With practice, you will catch more and more. Here's a tip. When listening, don't translate every word to your language. Try to connect words directly to meaning. For example, coffee makes you think of the drink, not your language translation. This helps you think faster in English. Now, let's talk about writing. Writing doesn't need to be long essays. Start small. Write 3 sentences about your day. For example, today I woke up late. I had rice for lunch. I studied English for 10 minutes. Simple, right? Over time, you can write more, maybe a short diary in English. Writing helps you see your progress and practice grammar naturally. Another helpful practice is questions. Ask yourself simple questions in English and answer them. For example, question: what did I do yesterday? Answer: I watched a movie. Question: what will I do tomorrow? Answer: I will meet my friend. Asking and answering trains both grammar and thinking. Now, let's connect this to motivation. Many learners feel excited for a few days, then stop. Why? Because they wait for big results too quickly. But remember, English grows like a plant. You must water it every day. You don't see changes immediately, but one day you realize your English feels stronger. So the secret is not studying a lot once. The secret is small daily actions. 10 minutes of focus is better than 0. Reading one page is better than waiting for the perfect moment. Speaking one sentence is better than silence. Here's a mindset sentence to remember. Progress, not perfection. Repeat it with me. Progress, not perfection. Good, that's your reminder when you feel slow. Let's review what we learned in this part. Short daily practice is better than long, rare practice. Connect English with daily habits. Practice speaking alone or with a friend. Read aloud to improve fluency. Listen for the main idea, not every word. Write small sentences every day. Focus on progress, not perfection. If you keep these routines, your English will grow step by step, like a strong tree with deep roots. When we talk about improving your English speaking, one of the most powerful tools is shadowing. Shadowing simply means listening to someone speaking in English and repeating what they say at almost the same time. You don't wait to translate or think too much. You just follow the rhythm, the sounds, and the speed. For example, if you hear, "I need a cup of coffee," you immediately repeat, "I need a cup of coffee." Don't worry if you can't copy perfectly at first. The goal is not perfection, but practice. Every time you shadow, you are training your mouth, your ears, and your brain to work together in English. Shadowing helps you with pronunciation, intonation, and even confidence. Many learners say they feel nervous when speaking, but after shadowing regularly, speaking starts to feel more natural. Here's a tip. Start with short sentences. For example, "Let's go." "Sounds good." "I'm not sure." Then move to longer ones. "Can you help me with this problem?" "I don't know what to say right now." The more you practice, the more fluent you become. Another powerful activity is recording yourself. It might feel strange at first, but it's very effective. Just open the recorder on your phone, read a short paragraph, or say something about your day in English. Then listen back. You will notice small mistakes, maybe your pronunciation or maybe your grammar. That's okay. This is how you improve. Here's a little routine you can try. Shadow for 5 minutes using a podcast, a video, or even a movie scene. Record yourself for 2 minutes talking about your day. Listen and write down 1 or 2 things you want to improve next time. If you follow this routine every day, your progress will be amazing. Also, remember to focus on phrases, not just single words. Native speakers rarely speak word by word. They use chunks of language. For example, "At the end of the day," to be honest, "it depends on." These phrases make your English sound more natural and fluent. Try shadowing with phrases, and soon they will come to your mind automatically when you speak. The key is consistency. Don't expect big changes in 1 week. But after 1 month of shadowing, recording, and practicing phrases, you'll notice you sound clearer and more confident. Now, let's talk about something that many learners forget: thinking in English. Most of the time, when you study a language, you translate in your head. For example, you think in your native language first, then try to find the English words. This takes time and can make you nervous when speaking. To become fluent, you need to reduce translation and start thinking directly in English. How can you do that? Let's start small. When you wake up in the morning, try to describe what you're doing in English, even in very simple words. For example, "I'm getting out of bed." "I'm brushing my teeth." "I'm making breakfast." Don't worry about making long or perfect sentences. Just use simple English that comes to mind. Another technique is to ask yourself questions in English. For example, if you're walking to the bus stop, ask, "What time is it? Where am I going? How's the weather today?" Then answer yourself in English. "It's 7:30. I'm going to work. It's sunny and hot." These small habits build the skill of thinking directly in English without translating. Also, try to use mental notes during the day. Imagine you are narrating your life like a movie. For example, she's waiting for the elevator. He's carrying a bag. They're talking loudly. This practice makes your brain more comfortable using English all the time. Another helpful trick is to replace simple words in your daily life with English. For example, when you see a table, say to yourself, "That's a table." When you eat rice, just say, "I'm eating rice." You don't need to speak out loud every time. Sometimes just thinking in English is enough. The more you do this, the less you will depend on translation. And when you stop translating, you will speak faster and more naturally. One more idea. Try short English-only moments. For example, give yourself 5 minutes where you are not allowed to think in your native language. Everything in your head must be in English. At first, it feels hard, but little by little, it becomes easier. Think of it like exercise. Your brain is learning a new habit. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Now, let's focus on confidence when speaking English. Many learners know words, they know grammar, but when it's time to speak, they feel shy. Maybe you are afraid of mistakes. Maybe you think people will laugh. But the truth is, mistakes are part of learning. Nobody speaks perfectly at the beginning. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes. So, how can you feel more confident? First, remember that communication is the goal. If people understand you, that is success. Don't worry if your sentence is not perfect. For example, if you say, "I go store yesterday," people will still understand you mean, "I went to the store yesterday." Your message is clear, and that is the most important thing. Second, practice speaking out loud every day, even if you are alone. Stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself. You can describe your day, practice dialogues, or repeat sentences from TV shows or podcasts. When you see yourself speaking, your brain becomes more comfortable with using English. Third, try shadowing. Shadowing means listening to someone speak English, then repeating after them immediately, almost like an echo. This helps you copy the rhythm and pronunciation of natural English. For example, if you hear, "How are you today?" you quickly repeat, "How are you today?" This trains your mouth and your ear at the same time. Another tip is to start with short, easy sentences. For example, "I like coffee." "Today is hot." "I'm learning English." Say these sentences loudly, with energy. The sound of your own voice in English will slowly build your confidence. Also, don't be afraid of silence. Sometimes when speaking, you need a second to think. That's normal. Even native speakers pause to find the right words. You can use small phrases like, "Let me think." "Well, that's a good question." These expressions give you time and make your English sound natural. Finally, surround yourself with English. The more you hear it, the more natural it feels. Watch English movies, listen to songs, or follow English podcasts. When you hear English every day, it becomes less scary and more familiar. Confidence grows with practice, not with waiting. So don't wait until you feel ready. Start speaking now, and the confidence will come. Now, let's talk about a very common problem: thinking in your own language before speaking English. This happens to almost every learner. You hear a question in English. In your mind, you translate it to your language. Then you think of the answer in your language. After that, you try to translate it back into English. This process takes time, and by the time you answer, the moment feels too late. So how do we fix this? The solution is to train your brain to think directly in English. Start small. Use simple words and sentences. For example, when you see a cup, don't think of the word in your language first. Just think cup. When you look outside and the sky is blue, tell yourself the sky is blue. These short moments train your mind to connect ideas with English words. Another good way is to keep a thinking diary. Every day, write 2 or 3 sentences in English about your life. For example, today I feel happy. I ate rice for lunch. I want to finish my homework. When you write them, also say them out loud. Slowly, your brain will start using English as the first choice, not your own language. Also, try to ask yourself questions in English during the day. For example, what should I eat? Where is my phone? What time is it? When you practice asking and answering yourself in English, you don't give your brain the chance to translate. Here's another trick. Practice common phrases until they become automatic. For example, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Can I help you? I don't understand. When these sentences are automatic, you don't need to think. They just come out. That's the beginning of fluency. At first, it will feel strange, but little by little, you'll notice that you are thinking less in your own language and more in English. That's when speaking becomes faster and smoother. Remember, fluency is not about knowing every word. Fluency is about using the words you already know quickly and naturally. So the next time you want to say something in English, don't stop to translate, just try. Even if it's simple, it's progress. Now let's look at something very important. Listening and understanding native speakers. Many learners say, I can read English, I can understand slow English, but when native speakers talk fast, I understand nothing. This is normal, and it happens because real-life English sounds very different from the English in textbooks. Native speakers connect words together. For example, instead of saying, what are you doing? Slowly and clearly, they say, what you doing? The words join together and some sounds disappear. So how can you train your ears to understand? The first step is to listen every day. You don't need to understand everything. Just listen. Even if you understand only 1 or 2 words, your brain is learning the rhythm and sound of English. The second step is to listen to short clips and repeat them many times. For example, take a short video or a podcast of 30 seconds. Listen once without subtitles. Then listen again with subtitles. Pause, repeat, and try to copy what they say. This will help you catch the natural speed. The third step is to focus on common phrases. In real life, people use the same phrases again and again. For example, how's it going? Sounds good? Let me know. No worries. If you learn these, you will recognize them immediately when you hear them. Another good practice is active listening. Don't just play English in the background. Choose a short piece of audio and really focus. Write down what you hear. Check the transcript if it's available. Compare and see what you missed. This will train your ears to notice small sounds. Finally, remember to be patient. At the beginning, fast English feels impossible. But if you listen a little bit every day, your brain will slowly adjust. One day you will realize, hey, I understand more than before. That is progress. Listening is not about understanding every word. It's about understanding the main idea. Even native speakers don't hear every single word all the time. They just guess from context. You can do the same. So don't be discouraged. Keep listening, keep practicing, and step by step, fast English will become clear to you. Now we come to the last part, making English a natural part of your daily life. Learning a language is not something you do only in class or only when you study. Real progress comes when English becomes part of your routine, like brushing your teeth or checking your phone. So how can you make this happen? Start by adding small pieces of English to your day. For example, change your phone language to English. At first, it feels strange, but very quickly you will get used to words like settings, notifications, and battery. These words will stay in your memory without extra study. Next, make English your background sound. When you cook, clean, or walk, play an English podcast or video. You don't need to focus 100% every time. Just hearing the rhythm of English daily makes it feel natural. Also, use English for things you enjoy. Do you like sports? Read sports news in English. Do you like music? Listen to songs and check the lyrics. Do you like cooking? Watch recipes in English. When learning connects with your hobbies, it feels fun, not like homework. Another strong method is to create small English habits. For example, every morning say one sentence about how you feel, I'm tired today, or I feel great this morning. Every evening, write 1 or 2 sentences about what you did. I went shopping. I studied for 1 hour. These little habits grow into fluency because they are consistent. Finally, remember that English is not just grammar and vocabulary. It's a way to connect with people. Try to join online groups, make friends, or comment on videos in English. Even short interactions help you practice in real life. The secret to fluency is not one big effort, but many small steps every day. Each time you listen, read, speak, or write in English, you are moving forward. Some days the progress is small, some days it feels bigger, but together they create strong results. Believe in yourself, keep going, and make English part of your world. With time and practice, speaking confidently and naturally will become who you are.